What we learned in Week 15 of the NFL season. The lull before the storm. The second leg of the 4x100 relay. A pretty bland week of football. Perhaps, like some of the teams, we're just looking ahead to weeks 16 and 17. Don't do that, though. There was a lot to parse from the action in Week 15. Dolphins 34, Jets 13. Nothing quite encapsulates the Jets' garbage season like getting blown out by Dolphins backup quarterback Matt Moore on a very special Saturday edition of Thursday Night Football in front of tens, perhaps even hundreds of people at MetLife Stadium. We need to talk about TNF on Saturday. This is why people don't take it seriously. Hey, what day is Thursday Night Football on? Is such a stupid question, it seeps into the game. Just call it Saturday Night Football or, nothing at all. People just wanna know what channel the Finns are on and then complain that they don't get NFL Network. Good for Moore, who is one of the NFL's better backups, for having a really good second half against a team that thought about quitting over the last couple of games, then full-on experimented with quitting, decided they'd get around to it later, and on a late Saturday night, with no one watching, eventually went all in on quitting. Self-exploration is important. For as much as Ryan Tannehill makes, shouldn't it be more obvious that he's not playing? Maybe that reckoning will come next week. Maybe it won't come at all. Thinking emoji. Ravens 27, Eagles 26. Good on Doug Peterson for going for two at the end. The Eagles aren't in the playoff race. It doesn't matter if they won or lost Sunday, so don't risk injury to your players or anyone else's by being conservative. Playing for the tie and overtime is fair to no one. If you deserve to win, prove it. If you're going to lose, get it out of the way. I am sure Baltimore appreciated the put 'em on the table style, and the Eagles fans should get behind the move, because seriously, if you want to complain about losing that game because your coach went for it, you have a complex and want to be sad. Bills 33, Browns 13. When you really think about it for more than a few fleeting seconds, the Browns' winless record is rather astounding. In a league where parity is king, and the worst teams still win a few games every year, the Browns have not only been beaten in every game they've played this year, a clear sign that their talent is significantly worse than every other team in the league but San Francisco, but they also haven't been in a game since before Halloween. I legitimately think what the Browns are doing this year takes more effort than going .500, like the Bills are wont to do. Of course, while I love Myles Garrett, the play is to find another bad team that's enamored with Mitch Trubisky and is willing to give up a Goff-like package for him. Repeat that cycle another year, or two, and you're going to have to lock into good players, right? Packers 30, Bears 27. The Packers are doing the thing, but they were almost undone by Matt Barkley and the garbage time All-Stars. If not for an incredible pass from Aaron Rodgers to Jordy Nelson, the Packers would have been cooked. But don't bet against these guys, they're making things happen under pressure. That counts for a lot this time of year. Don't be shocked if Barkley is the starting quarterback of the Bears next year, because this late season push is going to help John Fox keep his job, and if he does, he'll do something really short-sighted like hand a year of the franchise over to Barkley, who has only proven that he is an excellent backup in his end-of-season stint. Why? Because you can't reach rock bottom if you don't waste a few years. Steelers 24, Bengals 20. Is there another non-playoff team that talks more than the Bengals? Of course not. Cincinnati seems to think that they're still fringe Super Bowl contenders and not a team that's 3-8-1 against teams not named the Browns. The Bengals lost Sunday, but felt compelled to make a thing out of giving the Steelers a game. Jeremy Hill made a scene with a terrible towel, which of course upset the entire city of Pittsburgh because the towel is a sacred member of every Yinzer family and needs to be treated with the same reverence as the baby Jesus at the nativity scene at St. Stanislaus. Seriously, it's been weird with the towel for more than a minute, Pittsburgh. Then Vontaze Burfict decided to not talk in the locker room after the loss because it got, rhymes with hit, to say. Rhymes with yuck, everybody. The Bengals are toxic and they're not going to get much better next year. It has time to fumigate, but it's the Bengals, so expect more of the same next year. Texans 21, Jaguars 20. I would like this game to be injected directly into a vein. Why? Because professional terrible quarterback Blake Bortles went 12 for 28 for 92 yards and yet isn't he even close to the main storyline of futility in this contest? They should show this game to children in schools as a cautionary tale. Bill O'Brien finally reached his wits' end Sunday and benched Brock Osweiler after the $72 million quarterback who has never been good at any worthwhile level, but is 6'8" through 2 first-half interceptions. Here's the fun part, it worked. The Texans remain in the lead in the AFC South in part because Tom Savage, who attended and played for no fewer than 45 Division I schools during his collegiate career, led Houston to a comeback win. And now the Texans have a quarterback controversy between I know the name and that guy is being paid how much? And O'Brien, who hates anything that isn't straightforward, is going to have to handle it, all under the pressure of a playoff race. You know all the times I said the NFL sucked this year? It was all worth it. Also, Gus Bradley was fired after the game, but still flew with the team back to Jacksonville. You never turn down a private flight. I hope he had 20 beers. Titans 19, Chiefs 17. Oh, Andy. Sweet Andy. The Titans, who did a bold and awesome thing late in the fourth quarter, but not that late, by going for 2 and the lead and failing, weren't going to help you out twice, buddy. After Tennessee decided to be bold and not tie the game, which I am all for, by the way, when you convert a miracle fourth down touchdown, you keep rolling the dice. The Chiefs attempted to get a first down that could win the game with an Alex Smith speed option. Mistake number 1. Then Kansas City decided it would be prudent to rush only 4 against one of the best offensive lines in football and drop into a soft zone defense, the one thing Marcus Mariota can most certainly beat. The Titans moved into field goal territory while the Chiefs linebackers stood in the middle of the field waiting for receivers that had already passed them. Mistake number 2. Then Andy Reid tried to ice the kicker Ryan Succop, who missed the iced field goal, negating the kick. That's not really a mistake, but you knew he was going to make the next one. Kansas City has been lucky most of the year, but they're a sound team that should play competently in the playoffs. But losing Sunday was a great way to ensure that you don't have home field advantage, the one thing the Chiefs, perhaps more than any other team in the postseason, need. Stop running soft zone coverage in late game situations, people. Colts 34, Vikings 6. Why won't the Colts just go away? They were supposed to be eliminated after they lost to Brock Osweiler and the Texans last week, and now they're replaying hard and winning and stuff. It's hard enough keeping up with the rest of the NFL, and now I have to pay attention to the Colts. Why couldn't the Minnesota defense have done us a solid and actually, played hard Sunday? Also, Adrian Peterson is going to play until he's 50. He probably won't be effective, but he's going to play. Giants 17, Lions 6. Where would Eli Manning be without Odell Beckham? Probably unemployed or starting for the Browns. I am not the only person with this opinion, but I cannot stress this enough. OBJ saved Manning and he's showing how week after week. The reason the Giants are in playoff contention is because of OBJ and the team's awesome, top 5 defense, which has gone to another level in recent weeks. That's really all that separates the Giants and the Lions right now. The Giants have a great receiver, the Lions have a great quarterback. Neither team has a run game. It's all about the defense. It's like they win championships or something. I swear, if Eli does that late season surge thing again. Saints 48, Cardinals 41. This game only existed in the realm of fantasy football. You cannot convince me it wasn't a computer simulation. The highlight of this game is Mark Ingram freaking out on Sean Payton for pulling him from the game in a goal line situation when he had a $100,000 contract bonus for touchdowns. If I am Payton, I don't give him a goal line snap until the second half of week 17, just to see how crazy he can go. Coaching is about maintaining mental control. Falcons 41 to 49ers 13. Atlanta is still really good, but my God, are the 49ers bad. We knew that well before Sunday, but they were just hideous. I legitimately think I'd rather be a Browns fan right now. At least they play somewhat hard and have nowhere to go but up. The 49ers still have a place to go down and they look hellbent on reaching it. This whole team needs an enema. Watch General Manager Trent Bell get a contract extension this offseason. Patriots 16, Broncos 3. If you were to have said before the season that the Broncos' offense was going to fall apart and keep them out of the playoffs this year, anyone would have believed you. They were starting Trevor Siemian, who might be a mad and create a player come to life in a weird science-style experiment, at quarterback. Of course the offense might not be worthwhile. Well, it turns out the Broncos' offense has failed, and it's going to keep the team out of the playoffs, barring an incredible turnaround. Only it's not Siemian's fault. The Denver defense is keeping games close, because they remain awesome, though a bit over the top, no? And that's why you probably haven't noticed that the Broncos' offense has scored a grand total of 26 points in the month of December. The Patriots were available to be beaten Sunday. Denver couldn't do a thing to mount a competition. But again, it would have been a lot worse had Brock Osweiler or Peyton Manning been quarterback. Man, 2016 can't end soon enough. So weird. Raiders 19, Chargers 16. The Chargers had a timeout at the end of the game, and they quit. Ignore the sloppy game, ignore the fact that San Diego's home crowd was actually 75% Raiders fans, and ignore that the team is almost certainly going to move to LA at the end of the year. Mike McCoy had a timeout, had a chance to at least try to win the game and thought, nah, I am good. He's the new Jeff Fisher. Cowboys 26, Buccaneers 20. I love this photo so much because of how much hand-wringing people did over it. Dallas is no juggernaut. There isn't one in the NFL this year. The formula for beating the Cowboys hasn't changed a bit. Tampa Bay was always going to have an uphill climb, though they don't match up well defensively because they play too much zone. You have to bring pressure with blitzes, particularly up the middle, and Tampa refused to do that Sunday. Zeke Elliott is going to get his whenever he plays, but Dak Prescott feasted on the soft cover too, completing 32 of 36 passes. It was hardly some superb performance, though. His average depth or target was 6 yards. There's stink and dunk, then there's that. Tampa Bay might not be ready for prime time now, but they're going to be in playoff position for years to come. Jameis Winston is the real deal. If you can get a future bet, get in on him to win the MVP next year.